does beat him, I mean, there's plenty of doubles, waiting because they're not occupying the guys off the ball.
Yeah, just looking. Oh, and that's a, you know what? That is a reasonable spot to shoot.
Oh, look, Hollow's he's a good player. He's certainly he could design a man up around him, because once he gets his hands free, he's dangerous, as he proved in the grand final last year.
And Woodford again, just really, big check there, and Williams just holding his spot. Billows running down, fair bit of pressure coming here, and a nice pick up from Goodridge, setting a pick, and Mullins runs into a pick. He's drawn a flag there for a slash, and 2 goals in a row there.
Well, that was one for the highlight reel, no doubt about that. That was interesting transition by Burnside. I thought that he got himself in a whole lot of trouble, and he got himself out of trouble, balanced himself and finished it, pulled the trigger, and 8-5. Now we've got ourselves a bit of a ball game here, Tony.
We have, and I think Mullins there just setting that pick, wore a solid pick too, but straight back up, straight in the defence, and Benji coming onto Freeman here on the wing. So I think, for me, I would think Jack will probably carry forward here, being man.
Yeah, they've got Josh on the.
They got Josh on the opposite.
Off, so that's good play. That's what you want to do. You want to cut that off. He's gone to himself.
I think. That's didn't need to leave that then. And this would be that would have been not a great defensive structure there coming out of the midfield.
That's the sort of stuff that you've got to work on. As a coach, what you've got to do is you've got to practice that sort of stuff on face-offs. When's a good time on the wing to leave your man and go for the face-off guy. And what you actually effectively did then is that Benji left Tommy Freeman, who obviously, no due respects to Jack Woodford's got a better stick, got better speed. He left him to go to Jack, and Jack dished the ball. So it was a win. It was a win for.
That's a great check.
For Brighton in the end there, and
yeah, I think that too, especially in a man down situation where you've got one. You could probably work that, close the space down, but just probably overzealous to get the ball carrier more than understanding the road. Stevie Lambert, that's a good little check, and here we go again. Josh Harris has actually been playing really well. Fielders down. Another goal here from Burnside would certainly put the pressure back on Brighton, which would be 3 unanswered. Sandow working the corner, double there, so he's made space. And a bit of a
good move, poor shot. I mean, I just wonder whether a bit of fatigue creeping into Brighton, because the young kids haven't had a massive run, so I wonder if they've shortened the bench slightly. If that's having an impact on some of their more senior players.
Yeah, a late flag called there for, I will say, probably a bit of a cross-check here. Tommy Polden walking in.
Yeah, not sure if it was overly late. We haven't obviously got the benefit of a replay here, Tony, even though we're going to a worldwide audience with all the cameras we've got all over the place. We haven't got the benefit of a replay, have we?
I should have done makeup earlier, I think, but... I think just an illegal body called there.
This is what you don't want. You don't want to give Brighton a man-up opportunity to now restore a 3-goal lead. But I'll probably run the same setup here with Perham in the crease. When you've got a player like Perham's quality in the crease, he's not going to end up there. So that's a sign that there's going to be a rotation.
Yeah.
And here it comes now. I think you'll find Fussy will move up now.
And then Perham's coming out.
Perham will come out.
Here.
Fussy needs to carry the ball.
Rotation carries down, looking across. And that is, again, great ball movement. And a great little take. Yeah. And it took a bit of heat and then just finished.
Yeah, typical Canadian player, what they do is that they take the first check, they tuck it, they take the first check. And that's something that us Australians can learn from the Canadian game, is that ability to absorb that first check. And that's why the Canadians have been so successful in the international arena, is because they've developed this ability to hold onto the ball in confined spaces, via the form of box lacrosse, almost to a point whereby I think Tierney recently said it'd be better if the Americans were playing box lacrosse in high school or rather than field lacrosse. So that's how much influence is recognised that the indoor game has on the Canadian game.
Well, you would have seen that firsthand in 2014 with the Canadian team.
Yeah, 2006 John Grant Jr. I mean, Gate, those sort of players. Jack Woodford.
Pretty easy out the centre again, and just sort of held it up too. And Jack, that's a good matchup actually. Looking at
still discipline redirecting to X, which has been a constant philosophy at Brighton.
Josh Harris again. Look, you know what?
Well, why that's not a penalty?
That is very much. That is very much got to be a penalty, and I think Burnside very unlucky there not to get away. That has to be, and there's some flags being thrown. A bit of feeling in this. And
the reason why we got this situation, Tony, is because the referee and it's Dave Campbell blatantly saw that. I mean, Tommy Freeman's desperation was there. He went for the check, and that check caused the Burnside player to be tripped over. It's a clear penalty. Everyone here saw that, knew it. And the players then get frustrated as a consequence of that non-call. So,
at least it had to be an interference. At a minimum. I mean, but a trip is a trip, and should have been something called there. And as you say, the inability to call that from a senior referee in very good position has now put people in. And sometimes that's the sort of stuff that can just let these games get a little bit more aggro in them than they should be.
Yeah. There's I just don't understand what he saw differently from the rest of us here. I mean, it was right in front of us. He had a good view of it as well, and who knows? You ask Dave. Obviously, if you ask the referees, they've always got some sort of reason. So no point in asking them, is there, Tony? You've learnt that as a coach.
I'm going to say, you know what? Sometimes you don't look through the same eyes, and better off just worrying about what's going on in your
correct
cattle station. I would most certainly be asking, as a whole, though, for an explanation on that, the initial one, given the opportunity, and what he actually saw, because Josh Harris certainly didn't fall over from the pace of his own running.
So it looks as if here that there's 2 penalties against Brighton, 1 against Burnside, so hence Burnside start with the ball, and they'll have a 5-on-4.
And 10-5 in Brighton's ascendancy. We've just managed to sneak that back out to 5 goals again now.
Yeah, in a blink of an eye, wasn't it?
It happened very quickly. Although, Burnside really need to run a good man upset here and get a score on the board to just bridge that gap, 2 men on penalty.
They're playing circle offence at the moment. There's a 5-on-4, no one on the crease, so, really great stick.
Great stick. Looking at Hood, just,
Really, I think...
Again, the movement they're waiting for.
What they need to do, they need to have a crease player, or at least a cutter through there to disrupt the box 4 formation of the Brighton players. That's what they need to do. They've got someone on there now. They've got Sandell on there now.
Okay, so we now have 3 Brighton guys. We've got a 3 zone here, and they're sticking to a 5 around the outside. It's you know what, you've got to have someone in the crease here, or at least make their way into the crease. Oh, that's poor. Get those opportunities.
Yes.
You've got to put them away.
Well, they got themselves back into the game, and Brighton offence.
His own potential. And nice little move there. Again, relying very heavily on potential.
He's got a great stick, hasn't he? What college did he come from, Tony? Do you know?
Babson, I believe.
Okay. It doesn't really matter now. I mean, everyone in the past used to think of, did he come from North Carolina or Hopkins or Maryland or Duke? Doesn't matter. Great players are coming from all sorts of colleges now, so it's irrelevant where they come from. The game in America's exploded, and there's some great lacrosse players across the whole nation of America now. The Midwest, even West Coast, Florida now. It's just the game's exploded.
Jack he's a solid boy.
He's a good player.
That just bounced off.
He's a solid.
Again, probably. Nice in the back up there. But I need to move the ball quickly here.
Great. So,
nice cut.
Well done by Benji though. Benji didn't give up on it and got the trail check in.
The ball will come back to Burnside. Yeah, look, Alex obviously being out here 4 years now. We're obviously probably calling him Aussie Alex now. Good pressure there.
We nearly caused another turnover, young Rosenthal there. So well done.
Yeah, look, he's had a good day so far. So Alex Patinkin currently. He's going to suit up for his first South Australian game this year.
Yeah, because he's now he's tied up with Ray Doofy's daughter, I believe. So,
yes.
So he's.
There might be a flag there, and there could be a little bit go on after here. There's another flag. So things just starting to.
Dougie Shinnick, I think, will tell out of there, but and you don't want to give these referees any reason to call anything because.
There we go, another flag thrown. It must have been something said by Lee Perham.
Yes. Yeah, I remember years ago when I was first coaching at Burnside, if you had any sportsmanlike conduct, I think it was like a $25 fine or something like that. So we had a big, just to try and discourage that sort of behaviour.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's team impacting. You've got from a Brighton perspective, you've got a 10-6 lead, 4-goal lead. Why abuse the referee? I surmise that's what Lee did, and why do it and create opportunity for the opposition?
Yeah, look, and now back into a 3 zone. So you would think 3 1-minute penalties there. If Burnside can move the ball as they did last time, it could put Chippy under a bit of pressure here, and you would expect that with a 3 zone that they will score here, and 10-7 starts to bring it back.
I still like to see a guy on the crease, Tony, to try and. Although they're in a triangle now, so it's a little bit different. It's still nice to.
Paul Marshall's just found his way there. He's sitting off the back, but looks like he's coming into the crease now. Take it again. Just ball movement seems to be just a little bit slow at the moment. They just, and that's a great save. That is a great save down low.
Yeah, why have an outside shot when you're 5 on 3?
I think 3 runs in. Again, another great save. Again, really need to make those things happen. And great stick skills there. And I think we may have an offside call here. We may have an offside call here. Well, he was counting.
So really, you've got a CBO there as well.
Yep.
To not pick that up, if you were Burnside, you'd be a little bit upset. Although silly play by Burnside, because they had a 5 on 3 and all they were trying to do was score from the outside.
Yes.
So missed opportunity for Burnside.
And at the end of the third, it's 10-6 and